So, ladies and gentlemen, um, when I joined IML initially, the way I started was purely relying on signals. These were signals from the harmonic scanner, the tool that we have that shares trade setups on a daily basis. These were signals from other traders within the community. I remember I was on Mr. GJ. I'd take Randy Webb signals, Dr. K. I remember Dr. K had a group called um, Dr. K's Pips and Dips, and it was really fun. And we're taking signals and making money. And I remember I was able to grow my small account. I started trading with an account of $26, and I was able to just grow it very quickly in 1.5 weeks to about $221, and it was very exciting. Now the thing is, that was the beginning. But I reached a point whereby I was like, you know what? I also want to kind of understand how and why these master educators and master traders share their signals. Like, what do they see in the market that enables them to make decisions with regards to taking a trade, in regards to telling someone to buy or sell. And so that's when I realized that I also needed to continue with the academy and to dive deeper into the IML TV that I've emphasized earlier, to just learn the different strategies. And I realized when I started taking more interest in learning for myself, and maybe not purely relying on signals. Signals is fine at the beginning, but the aim at the end of the day with IML is to get you to a point whereby you're able to trade on your own 100%, yeah? And the tools that we use are supposed to assist us to be able to just align with our strategies. Like, for example, the web analyzer tool, the swipe trades tool, the swipe coin. These are fantastic tools. And it's important that as we develop our own strategies, which is basically the key, is we align ourselves with these tools, but we also understand why these tools work the way they work, and why different traders call different trades. Sometimes they may call a trade and you don't even see or understand why they do it. So today, I'm just going to focus on trying to enable you guys understand my strategy. I learned how to trade this strategy from Jasmine Schaefer. Jasmine is a 25 or 26-year-old. I had the pleasure of meeting her in Vegas in February in person. And before that, I was following her very keenly on Telegram. And she used to do a lot of training on TradingView on her strategy, which is basically focused on support and resistance and drawing trend lines and all that. Now, Jasmine has a group called the Schooled by Jasmine and Team Sweezy. So if you're not a part of that group, please join that group or that channel. And in that group, there are 3 videos, okay? There are 3 videos in Jasmine's groups that she has shared on her strategy of drawing support and resistance lines and how she trades. Jasmine is a swing trader. Okay, so if you're interested in swing trading or intraday trading, Jasmine is a very good trader. She's not a master educator, but she's a very good trader. Okay, so I learned from her. So what I'm teaching you right now is basically what I used to trade, but which I learned from Jasmine, and what I've tweaked to my own understanding in terms of, because I'm a scalper, at this point in time, I'm a scalp trader, meaning that I love to get in and out of trades. I love the adrenaline of trading on an hourly basis, getting in and out of the market on a day-to-day basis. I'm not necessarily right now focused on long-term trading. However, the strategy or the style that Jasmine taught me works even for my strategy. And you'll find that all the different strategies you will learn will all align with your own strategy eventually when you begin to understand how to trade. Okay, so what I usually do, the first thing, and maybe if you're taking notes, let me just mute these mics. If you're taking notes, there's a website called tradingview.com. Okay, tradingview.com is a free chatting software. I mean, not software, it's a free chatting website. I like it, and a lot of master educators, even Chris Terry himself yesterday was on TradingView. He uses TradingView to set up his charts and everything. It's a free chatting website. There's a paid version of it that you need to subscribe to it. I believe it's about $19 a month or something. But even with a free site, you can simply chat your website. I use the free version right now. Hopefully in the future, I'll probably go with the paid version. But for now, the free version works. And what it does is it enables you to just have a nice look at your chart. So like now you can see the pair that I'm going to analyze in terms of my strategy is Euro CAD. I've done others. Let me see. JPY. I'll do GBP, JPY. As you can see, this one has already been and I've already drawn my setups here. So I'll work with Euro CAD just to show you how I trade and how I'm able to throw relatively successful trades in my Fair Scalper channel. So if you look at trading view on the left on this side, we have tools, okay? Oh yeah, and you have to, okay, for trading view, you have to sign in, you have to register. So when you go onto the website, it'll ask you to register for your free account. So once you register, then you'll be able to use it easily without interruptions, because if you don't register, it'll keep having pop-ups that keep reminding you to register. Okay, so on the sidebar here of TradingView, we have tools, okay? And these tools have different purposes. So you can see there's the arrow tool or the cursor tool, which gives you different items like the crosshair, you know, which is here. I like to use the arrow. There's also the dot. I like to use the arrow, yeah, for me. And then we have on the side the trend lines, the different trend lines. We have the diagonal one, we have the horizontal one, we have the info line, trend angle, horizontal ray, we have the arrow. All these are lines that we use when we want to, you know, just draw up or set up our charts. So, and then we have the different retracement tools, the different forks, the pitchfork, we have the Fibonacci. You understand what these are as we go along, but in case you ever find a trader or a master trader talking about Fibonacci, you can find it here. And then we have our brush tool here, which again has different uses, and I've used one of the tools here when I'm drawing my lines. We have our texting tools here that you can use to write text on your chart in case you're doing a training of sorts, or you just want to mark up your charts. And all these tools, we have our measuring tool here, which you use to measure our pips. You know, this is the measuring tool. And all that, and our zoom in, zoom out tools and all that. So this is where you get all the tools you want to use to mark up your charts. Then up here, we have now where you look for the different pairs. For now, we're on EuroCAD. This is a time frame. Right now, we're on the day chart, but if I wanted to go to the minute chart, I can go on the minute chart there. If I want to go on the 15-minute chart, I can do that there. If I want to go on the day chart, yeah. So I'm back on the day chart, okay. Then we have our different chart types. Like we have our bar chart. If I was to do a bar chart, we have our candlesticks. There's a video that I like to share about candlesticks because I think it's important to understand candlesticks. It's by a trader called Rayner Tay, R-A-Y-N-E-R, and T, his last name is T-A-E. So Rayner Tay, he's a good trainer on candlesticks on YouTube. So that's the candlesticks chart. Then we have hollow candles. So you can decide to use whatever candlesticks you want, Heikenashi and all that. These are the different charts. And this is very based on the kind of trader that you are. Then we have the different, there's a bar up here with, you know, where you want to get your indicators. If you want to use different templates up here, you can use them as you become a more advanced trader. The indicators are here. I'm sure you've heard of people using indicators. As traders, we all use different indicators, okay? You can see the Bollinger Bands here. I'm sure you've heard of things like Ichimoku and all that. You can find them here. So the reason I'm sharing this is just so that you know how to use your trading view. And then on the side, when you get on TradingView, you find that there's usually this bar that is when you sign up for the first time, it's usually open. I usually just minimize it just to clear my screen and have a broader look at my screen. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to start doing the analysis. Okay. And we are looking at EuroCAD. I am on the candlestick chart right now. I hope you can all see that. So step one, guys, is for us to be on the day chart. Okay, I hope you're taking notes. Step one, get on the day chart. I'm recording this session, but just in case I'm not able to share it, because the last time I did a recording, for some reason, the recording just refused to share. So just in case this recording doesn't work, please take notes, yeah? And if worst case, please go back to Jasmine Schaefer's videos. She does the same thing that I'm going to teach you today, okay? So we start with the day chart. We are now on the day chart. Then what next we do is we look at our charts. Right now we're on the candlestick chart, but what I usually do is I turn the candlestick chart into a line chart. Now, I learned this from Jasmine, and I realized it's actually easier for me to plot my support and resistance. Now, I'm sure if you're just new and you've not yet finished going through the academy, you might be wondering what support and resistance means. Support and resistance basically is the highs and the lows on your chart, okay? The obvious highs and the obvious lows. So I am sure you can see this. Why I go from the candles to the line chart is because on the candles, sometimes, especially when you're new, you get stuck trying to figure out where do you draw the lines of the highs and the lows. Do you draw them at the wicks at the end of the candles or at the bodies of the candles and all that? So to remove the confusion until you get a bit more acquainted with drawing your support and resistance, I usually just go to the line chart, because on the line chart, it is very clear where the highs and the lows are, okay? So that's step two. Step three, I go and look for my line tool to draw the support and resistance. Again, the support and resistance, the highs are the ceilings, the lows are the floors. So those two terminologies interchange: highs, ceilings, lows, support, or floors. Yeah. So I'll come and look for my tool. The tool I'll use is the horizontal line. The horizontal line tool. And the horizontal line tool, you can change, what you can see, this line is orange. Down here, there's a toolbar. You can change the color. I'll change it to blue. You can even make the line thicker if you want over here. Yeah. So that's my horizontal line. So again, what am I looking for? The highs and the lows. Now, where is price right now? Price is here. Okay, the market opened last night at midnight. So, you know, this price has already begun to move. So this is where we are at now. So I'm looking for so this is my focus, right? So I begin to look for the highs and lows based off this. So I'll come here, get my horizontal, get my horizontal tool, my horizontal line. This is my first high. I'm sure you can all see that's an obvious high, okay? Then I'll continue plotting the other highs, and maybe if you have questions, you can ask me. If you get on the call, please mute your mics. If you get on the call, please mute your mics. Okay, so I'm just going to try and then if you can't see obvious highs, you can always look left. Like now, I'm sure you're wondering where is the low, where this price is. So you can always look left. That's what I usually recommend to people. So you can always look left to look for other lows. Always look left, yes. So I'm sure now you can get a clearer picture of where there are other lows. So there's another low here, another low here, another low here, another high here, wait. I'm usually very particular about how I plot my lines. You don't necessarily have to be this particular, but I find I tend to be very particular about how I plot my lines. So for sure you can see these lines. You can see the highs and lows. Okay, so that's that. Once I've plotted my lines, sorry. Once I've plotted my lines, what I do, just hold on, let me. Once I plot my lines, what I do next is I try and look for the zones. I call them the zones in between the lows and the highs. And here's the reason why. If I go to the 15-minute chart, you'll see that there's huge zones in between the lines, okay? So that means that because I'm a scalp trader, and what do I say? My strategy is based off a shorter time frame. Yeah, I will try and always trap the price by looking for the next highs and lows within the different highs and lows. I don't know if that makes sense. So let me just draw that out so that now maybe it will be a bit clearer. Okay, so I'll go back to the day chart. Let me just finish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to now start plotting the zones. So how do you plot the zones? I will come to this tool, which is the brush tool, and then I will use the rectangle brush tool to plot the zones. Now, pay attention. So here I'll just come and do that, okay? And then down here, again, to edit this line, because I want this zone to be across this support and resistance line, I will use the toolbar here to edit it out. So you can change the style of your rectangle shape. Yeah, you can even change the color to, let's say, orange. But for me, I'll just use the color I've been using. You can create a borderline for it if you want to. But my focus is the coordinates, okay? Now we have the first price bar and we have the second price bar. On the first price bar, I focus on this box here, okay? And what I type in is minus 999 and 9999. So what I want to get is minus 50,000 and 15,000, okay? Then I press okay. As you can see, what has happened, this zone that I've plotted on this support line or this resistance line has cut across completely to each end, yeah? So as price moves, I don't have to keep on plotting the same zone. Then what next I do is I come and I copy paste this line, this zone. Instead of doing the whole thing again, I just come and copy paste it. And I use the toolbar down here to do that. If you look here where the cursor is, there's a clone copy tool there. I'll just clone it. I'll clone, then I'll drag them across the different support and resistance lines. This may not make sense now, but you can, if this recording works, you can rewatch it again. If not, there's Jasmine Schaefer. Again, she does the same thing I'm doing right now. And you'll be, if you watch the 3 videos, by the time you're done with the 3 videos, which are 1 hour long each, you'll be able to understand what I'm doing. So you drag the lines, okay, the zones rather, across. Yeah. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll change this into a candlestick. Again, let me just, before I do that, let's drag and drop. So just clone a bit more. These pop-ups. The challenge of having a free account is you get pop-ups coming in all the time. So my daughter has just walked in case I sound distracted. She's just woken up, she's on holiday. So my 5-year-old has just woken up. So bear with me if I sound distracted. Okay, so.
Are you talking to Mama?
I'm talking to some of our members of our Forex community. I'm teaching them.
But are you talking to them?
Yes, I'm talking to them. Oh, give me a few minutes. Oh. Okay, that's that. Okay, so let's go back to the candles. Now, I've changed this back into a candlestick chart because I think now it's clearer for me. What I'll do at this point in time, I'll also add some indicators. So the indicator I like to use is RSI, Relative Strength Index, which is here. Okay. It's down here. Okay. And this indicator, you can always edit it. You see, it says RSI 14 close. You can edit the indicator if you want to whatever colors you want. I put orange. I like orange, but you can change it to whatever color you want, the style. But the inputs for the RSI is 70 and 30 on the upper band and the lower band. Okay, so 70 and 30. And if you, and then, so the inputs, then the length is 14. And so you just maintain it as this. I don't change anything on the RSI indicator. I only change the style in terms of the color, but that's about it. And then what I did was I also created a background just to be able to show me clearly where the 70 and 30 end. So if you look at this, this line here is the 70 mark, and the one here at the bottom is the 30 mark. So for the RSI, for anyone who uses the RSI indicator, every time this line chart goes above this line here, the 70, it means that the price for this currency pair is overbought and you should be getting ready for a sell. And if we look left, you can see very clearly that every time price went up here, it actually reversed. There was a pullback and it went on a downtrend. And then the same with an uptrend. Every time price goes below 30, it means the price is oversold. Okay, if you're taking notes, and there was a pullback, so you can expect that it will pull back or reverse for a buy, as you can see here. So RSI is just to give me an idea of where price is at any given time. Then, okay, so now back to my strategy. There's a reason why I pulled up the RSI. Now back to my strategy. I use the, what is it? I like to say trend lines. I also use trend lines. If you have managed to go through anything in the academy, I'm sure you've watched videos on support and resistance and on trend lines, yeah, channels and all that. I'll recommend you just go through that so that I don't necessarily repeat what is already in the academy. So what we are trying to look for is an uptrend and a downtrend, okay? So an uptrend is like an uptrend, there you go, and a downtrend. That's what we're looking for, okay? So in this case, it's very clear there's a downtrend here. There was a pullback going up, another downtrend, a pullback, downtrend. And when we look back, you can see clear downtrends and uptrends. So what I'm trying to do is, this is the day chart. So I'm trying to look for the trend on the day chart. Okay, so the trend on the day chart, let me just, so the way I see it right now, let me go back to my, I'll pick my diagonal trend line tool and plot my line. Again, if you go to the academy, it should show you how to draw your trend lines. But as a rule, I just stick to the wicks of the candles. The wicks are the highest points and the lowest points of the candle. So in this case, this is where it is. Then I clone it, and then I drag it to the bottom of the wicks here. So technically, it looks like we're a bit on a downtrend. Overall, in the last couple of days, the euro card has been trending downwards. Okay, it's very clear. Even from up here, it's been trending downwards. Over here at the back, there was a bit of a consolidation. So there was a sideways range happening. But from, let's say, 24th of June, there was a pull down, a clear downtrend here, an impulse down. An impulse is basically consecutive candles of the same type going down. And then there was a bit of a pullback and then a down pullback. So there's a bit now of a downtrend, but with a bit of pullbacks here. So I've drawn, and this area here is called a channel. So the channel shows me the direction of the price for the euro card. Now, what next do? I go onto my 4-hour chart. So all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look for the trend. Okay, guys, I'm trying to look for the trends from the day chart all the way up to the 15-minute chart, which is where I base off my entries. So hopefully you're taking notes in case you're not on your laptops, also trying to do what I'm doing. Now on the 4-hour chart for the euro card, our day is here, our day candle is here, as you can see. And you can see price is actually moving. It's trying to move on the uptrend. I would basically say this thing is going down, but as it's going down, the way price moves, unless there's an impulse down, where maybe like in this case up here, you can see a clear impulse up, okay? Probably there was news on these days or something, or there's just very strong buyers presence in the market. Yeah, and the buyers were pushing the price up consecutively. So that was an impulse. But most of the time, or generally, not necessarily most of the time, price moves in an up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down trend. So you can see here very clearly, price coming down, coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down, coming down, coming up. So you find these lines here, my trend lines, are just what I call trapping the price action movement going down. So that's what we are doing. Okay, we are trapping the price action movement in the trend, in the channel. This is a channel. Okay, now on the 4-hour chart, I'm trying to look for a trend. So it's still seemingly for me going down. This day candle looks like it wants to trend upwards, but my prediction would be it would go up, get to this ceiling or this resistance, and still come back down, all the way down. Okay, because that's how price moves, up, down, up. So it came down here, it bounced off the floor, then came back up, bounced off the ceiling, came back down, and then for a second and third time, it touched the ceiling again. So I can see that this is a very strong ceiling or resistance. And the same with this, yeah? So for me, I'm still on a downtrend. Then I'll come to the sorry, I was getting a call. I'll come to the, because I can't see, let me see. Technically, I would say this is actually going on an uptrend, because I can even draw my, Sorry, guys. Just a second, guys. Let me. Sorry, guys, that was my daughter. I had to attend to her. Okay, so I can see if I zoom in here, you can see an uptrend forming. But this candle looks like it's coming down. So for me, what I'll do is, I already know price is moving down. So I'll simply just try and trap the price at this point in time using the wicks of the candles. You can see the wicks here very clearly on the day chart, on the 4-hour chart, sorry. So its prices have touched the bottom wick. And then what I'll do is I'll simply clone this again, because remember my strategy is I trap price because I want to see how price is moving. So I've trapped price in this other channel, okay? So price could actually break my floor here and come down, or it could just go up and come down before it breaks. So for now, this is where we're at. Then I'll go to my 1 hour because I'm trying to see if I can see anything more clearly. As you can see, this is how price has been moving. Even within this channel, price has been on this channel. And it looks like it'll go down and continue on a downward trend. So I'll quickly go to the 15-minute chart. So I started with the day chart, and then I went to the 4-hour chart, and then the 15-minute chart, because I base my entries off the 15-minute chart, okay? Now, this is how the 15-minute chart looks like. As you can see, clearly we can see the movement of price even within the 15-minute has been, this has been a ceiling, this has been another ceiling, and we're now at a floor, yeah, here. So there's a possibility that price might just want to break down. So I'll bring out another indicator, one more indicator, which is the Ichimoku cloud, okay? So you can take notes. The way the Ichimoku cloud looks like originally is like this. Yeah, I hope you can all see that. So you can see the way the Ichimoku cloud looks like. There's a green line, which we like to call the money line. There's a blue line and there's a red line, okay? These lines all mean something to traders. And then there's the red cloud here and we have the green cloud here, as you can see. Now, you can also very clearly see my support and resistance lines that I plotted on the day chart. You can see my zones, these pink areas. So all these lines and tell a story and actually are able to tell me where price is going. So in summary, let me give you an idea. The red cloud basically gives you, it's a support or resistance, and it tells me that the price is actually on a downtrend. The green cloud will typically tell me that price is on a, yes, it's typically on an uptrend, okay? Then we can see, so typically when price is below the red cloud, guys, we are on a downtrend. When it's above the green cloud, it's on an uptrend. If you're taking notes, just note that down, okay, on the basics. Now, when it comes to the different lines on the Ichimoku cloud, we have the red and blue. Every time, and you can note this down, every time the red line crosses below, and let me zoom in because I want to look back. Every time the red line crosses below the blue line, yeah, if I'm to go to the, back to the settings, you can see the red line is a conversion line, the blue line is a baseline, the green line is what you call the lagging span. So that's what I'm talking about, red line, blue line, and all that, okay? Now, so every time the red line crosses below the blue line, you can see here, the red line here crossed below the blue line here. It indicates a downtrend, and we can clearly see there was an impulse down. That's a basic thing to know. Then every time the red line crosses above the blue line, we can see an uptrend. So typically here, you could enter for a buy, okay? That's typically what you do. And here you'd enter for a sell. So I hope you've noted that down. Then we have the green line. The green line basically gives you an idea of where to take your profit. So let's say the red line here has crossed below the blue line, okay, and it's going down. We can typically see a downtrend. So the question is, where do you put your take profit? You look at the previous low of the green line. And the previous low of the green line, in this case, if you're entering at this point in time, the previous low would be here, or here, or here. I hope that makes sense. So you could enter your take profit here, or here, or here. So this is where the green line is, so you can enter your take profit here at this price at 1.46744. In this case where, and for sure you can see price went down and it actually hit this take profit line here. And if you want to be even more certain, so you can typically see I have my line here, the ones that we plotted on the day chart, which also give me a good indication that this was a very good take profit zone, okay? So I hope that's clear. If it's not clear, you can always just ask me questions and I will try and answer them once I'm done with this. Okay, so once you've understood the basics of the Ichimoku, it becomes easier to decide your entries and your exits. Red line crosses below the blue line, it's a sell. Red line crosses above the blue line, it's a buy. The green line just gives you an indication of where to put your take profit. In case it's a downtrend, it's usually the previous low. If it's an uptrend, it's usually the previous high. So if you see, like here where the red line crossed above, although this was an impulse, so let me look for a better entry. Let's say here, red line crossed above. If you wanted to know, so let's say you took a buy around here, yeah, because the red line just crossed above here. So you took a buy here and you entered. Where do you know where your take profit is? Your take profit could be the previous high, which is here. And even another high could be here, could be here. So that's basically that's a basics rule. Now, the question for me is, when I'm trading my strategy, what I usually do is I look at where price is right now, okay? The Euro card price, I'll just hide, I will remove the green line. I usually remove it. You don't have to, but for me, I usually remove it just to declutter. Already my chart can appear very cluttered. So I will remove it because these two lines are enough for me. The cloud is enough for me. My support and resistance lines and my zones, the pink areas, are enough for me, okay? So the price is here. Today is a Monday. Okay. Okay.
The white one, the green one. So it's the green one and
The green one.
the green one has in the rub.
Yeah, the joys of being a Forex mommy, you trade with your daughter. So back to what I was talking about. Yeah, so how I would analyze this chart right now and where I would say where I would want to enter. Today is a Monday morning, so we've just come from the weekend. So the market, the movement might be a bit slow. Like we've been looking at this calendar and this candlestick here, for example, and price has hardly been moving much. we can see this is a 15-minute chart, by the way. We're on a 15-minute chart. Now, what that means for the new people on the call, every candlestick that you see is 15 minutes, okay? And you can see on TradingView, it tells you how much more time is left on the candle, which is about 4 minutes and 21 seconds, and it keeps counting down. And this is where price is at 1.46503. We can see the red line is here, the blue line is here, and it looks like it wants to cross over below the blue line. For me, this is a bit of consolidation. On Monday mornings, the market is really slow. So I don't necessarily get into trades on a Monday morning. Yeah. But if at all I was to look left so that I can just teach you how I trade, let's go left. I'll give you an example of this area. Okay. Now, price, let's say this was an impulse. This was on the 19th of July. On the 19th of July, there was an impulse up. I believe there was news of some sort that affected the euro pairs or the CAD pairs. And there was news up. Now, it broke this resistance, went up, and then began retracing. Usually when there's an impulse, there's usually a retracement. Now, for me, however high this, how can I explain this? However high this goes, yeah, I usually tell myself, because of my trend lines, that price will hardly break through my support and resistance lines, especially because of the trend. Because what the trend lines give me basic, very clear direction of price. So in this case, price went up. It tried to break this ceiling by going up. It even tried to break this zone up here. As you can see, my zones can also be multiple resistances. So this is another resistance, another high. Then it began to retrace back down, okay? Now, in a scenario like this, yeah, let's say I woke up and I looked, and when I looked at the charts, the candles were here. The question would be, do I enter for a buy or a sell? Okay, if you can see my chart, so let's say I entered, and let's say I entered when this candle was forming. I would then, let me just clear this. Let me hide this lines. Let me hide the lines first. We can clearly now see this chart, price breaking through. As a rule, I would wait for, especially as a new trader, I would wait for price, like for this candle, to close below my zone. You guys can see this zone. Let me zoom in. A zone is this pink area, and in between it, there's a support and resistance line. So I would wait for my price to break through this zone to confirm that the trend is still going down. Because what can happen is price can go up, come down, and then go back up. So I wouldn't want to be caught in a wrong trend. Yeah, so I would wait for price to technically close below my zone. Wow. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, so price at this point in time has come down. It actually tried to break down this zone, then it retraced. Yeah, now it's in the cloud. So I usually would, as a new trader, I would not recommend for you to trade in the cloud. I would wait for you to trade above the cloud or below the cloud, because within the cloud, there's a bit of consolidation. You want to trade in a clear downtrend or a clear uptrend. So in this case, I would wait, because again, trading is a patience game. I would wait and see how price is going. So this would not necessarily be a very good point of entry for me. Yeah, because as you can see, price came down, it went up, it came down, it went up. Yeah. Let me look for a good entry. And then we can very clearly see some patterns. Then this I learned from Jasmine. So let me just use the trend lines to draw for you these patterns that I'm seeing. There's a pattern here. We call them flag patterns. And another one up here. And we can see, let me use this, I just want to show you what I mean. So price went up, it came down. I'm sure you can see that. Then it began to consolidate here in the middle, yeah. Then it eventually came down. So if you look carefully, there's a flag pattern here. I hope you can all see this. There was an impulse up, an impulse down, and then it started consolidating and now broke and came down. So usually I also trade the flag patterns. For me, for example, if I can just maybe move this way, how price moves up technically, then it moves down, then it moves up. That's how usually price moves. So up, down, up. That's on an uptrend. On a downtrend, it does the opposite. And you learn this in the academy. It moves down, okay? Then it moves up. Then it moves down again on a downtrend. Now, in between, so it's moving up, then it does its consolidation, coming down, then it continues up. So usually this flag here, pattern, this is what I'm calling a flag pattern. Okay, you can see this is a flag. In Kiswahili, that's bendera. That's what I'm talking about. It went up, it did its movement here, then continues up. It comes down, does its movement here, maybe in this direction. Yeah, in terms of going up and down in this section, then it goes down. That's basically how price moves. So I try to trade off flag patterns. So let me just remove that so that we can go on. I hope that makes sense, but you learn that in the, I believe, the market geometry section. So clearly here, guys, we can see a clear flag pattern. And there's another one here down. So if I was here, I would very easily have entered for a sell because I know for sure price is moving down. But now let's now narrow in to my 10 pips strategy of trading from zone to zone. In this scenario, yeah, we can see the white areas here and in between the zones, okay? So I would technically want to enter in a clear downtrend, which would be, so now let's say price came down all the way down. Let's say if I didn't catch this move and I saw it around here, I would wait for price to do whatever it's doing in the zones and in the cloud. And then once it breaks down below my zone over here, this zone, I hope you can all see the zone, I would enter for a sell for 10 pips. I've backtested this strategy and it works. Once price breaks past this zone, you can take 10 pips down. And for sure, if we look at this candle here, which finally closed here, the next candle here closed down here. So I would have entered for this candle all the way down for 10 pips. If I'm to measure using my measuring tool on this candle, this is literally more than 10 pips. My 10 pips is actually around here. And so we can see from this area to this area in the white area, on the downtrend, I caught my 10 pips very clearly. Okay, let me look for another bit because up here there's a bit of consolidation. So price is still consolidating, but I want to look back at another area. Now, in a case in point here, there was an uptrend. Okay, let's say I found price here. Before I decide whether I'm going for a buy, or a sell, I would wait for this candle to see where it closes. In this scenario, yes, we are above the green cloud, and yes, this is an uptrend. However, the red candles are showing you a price reversal. So this candle here informs my decision on how to take this price. So what I would have done is I use my trend line tool to draw the trend. In this case, I hope I'm making sense. Remember, I trade the flag patterns, and we can see this is an uptrend. Okay, this was a whole uptrend. And for me, my prediction is based on the way the candles are moving, because this candle closed below my zone here, I'm on a downtrend. So I would enter for a buy on the second candle. I would wait for this candle to close, the next one, and then I enter for a 10 pip sell down here. So you can see this very clearly. There's a 10 pip from this candle all the way, in fact, till here. That's exactly 10 pips. And it's within the white zone. And this is especially when you're still a new trader. I like to trade from zone to zone. I learned this from Jasmine. Trade from zone to zone. If you're on a buy trend, you can trade from this zone to this zone. Okay? I think, I don't know if I'm making sense. Let me look back again and see another zone that we can, a potential trade we could take in the past. So if you look at this pattern again, price came down, then went up, then it formed a flag here. We can see a clear flag pattern here. You can see a clear flag pattern here. I hope you can see the clear flag patterns I'm talking about here. And usually when price moves down, it will now impulse back up based off the flag. So once it breaks my resistance up here, we are in the white zone. And then I wait for this candle, I'll wait for the second candle, and I'll enter for a buy going up. So if I calculate these pips again, these are more than 10 pips. And I can take my profit here. Okay, so that's how I trade my 10 pips using the flag patterns. I hope I'm making some sense. If there are any questions, maybe you can now ask your questions. But for the Euro card right now, let's see. As you can see, the movement is still very slow. We are still on this, you know, I could draw a trend line here. I could try and draw a trend line here. But let's see. So my prediction would be price has gone up, that it could actually break and this support zone and continue downwards. For me, once this zone has been broken, okay guys, I would actually enter for a sell for 10 pips. So let's say the next candle, when it finally gets to this, so again, trading is a waiting game. So I would take my 10 pips here. I would get, as you can see, this is within the zone, the white zone, and it's below the cloud, meaning that this is a downtrend. So if that doesn't happen, I wouldn't enter this trade. I hope that is clear. Yeah. If it's not clear, please ask your question. So again, this is not a good trade to enter right now on EuroCAD. The London session is just about to open, so I would wait for the London session. We are still in the Tokyo session, which should be ending soon. So because again, we're coming from the weekend, the market is very slow. Today is a Monday. So the markets are still opening up. So yeah. Are there any questions? Any questions?
Any questions?
Wow.
Wow.
For the guys on the call, any questions? We have 18 people on the call. Any questions?
For the guys.
Okay, Mama. Thank you for your assistance. No questions. Okay, let's look at another one more currency pair. Now we can see what EuroCAD is doing here, but it's still within this channel, okay? So for me, I'm still confident that it's within this channel. If it breaks this channel, this resistance, then I know it's going up. But I would not enter for a trade because we are still in a zone, we are still in the cloud. I would wait for a clear break because we want to trade breakouts. We don't want to trade consolidation. And right now there's a bit of consolidation, okay? As a rule, I don't trade consolidation. So let's see. There's a question in the chat. How did you make sure the rectangles are on the horizontal lines? Galaxy A20, then highly, I did not understand how you created the zones in the pink zone. Okay, hoping you guys joined the call at exactly 7. Yeah, let me try and see if I can re-explain this. I plotted my pink zone, which can be any color. Don't get caught up in the color. I plotted this line on the day chart. Okay, guys, I was on the day chart. And when I had plotted my support and resistance lines, which I'm hoping you are there when I plotted the lines. And then simply put, I just came and took the brush tool here, the rectangle brush tool, and I drew a line across the zone, the support and resistance line like that. Then I edited it, and I'm repeating this again. I came to my coordinates and I plotted -999, which is -50,000, and 999.
It says 60,000.
Sorry. So hope that makes sense. And then I simply just zoomed in my 15-minute candle. So the zones are there in the middle already. I'm sorry. Okay. Have I answered your questions? I hope so. I hope I've answered that question. Okay. So anyone wants me to analyze 1 or 2 pairs and then we are done, because now it's 8:28. We are half an hour past the hour. Although today is a Monday morning, the markets are still a bit slow. So I don't know if we'll see any trading opportunity this morning, this early. Awesome. Thank you, Marilyn.
Marilyn and who? Marilyn? Who is calling now?
Mama. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? As you can see, price is moving very slowly. This green candle here is still here. So again, not a good trading opportunity. Odd card, okay. For Mercy, I'm going to analyze for you odd card, Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar. So we'll come to AUD.
AUD, what is AUD?
So just watch my screen as I'd already analyzed this pair, so it's going to be very simple. Guys, Mercy, we are still in consolidation over here. So, so this is not necessarily a very good entry right now. I think I would advise we wait and see clear direction of price. However, price is still below the cloud. So it's safe to say that we could still be on a downtrend. Let me look at the day chart. As you can see, there's a strong bearish candle, bearish meaning downtrend candle on the day chart, and it's evidently below the cloud. If I was to draw my trend lines on the day chart, if I was to draw my trend lines on the day chart, I would simply, Mercy, draw the line here, as you can see, because you want to see what the overall trend is first before we make a decision. So that's how it's looking. So for a couple of days, OD card has been on an uptrend with a bit of pullbacks. So you can see price moved all the way up here, Mercy, and then is now beginning to come down. So my prediction would be that we are here right now where this price is. Price is probably going to continue downwards and probably hit this support and then bounce back up. So we are on an overall downtrend. That's what I predict. So if I look at the 4-hour chart for AUD card, as you can see, the red candle, the bearish candle is beginning to form. So if you're a long-term trader, a swing trader, this is probably going to go all the way up to somewhere here, 0.9177. Okay, that's my prediction over here. And this is also a support and resistance area. That's my prediction before it now bounces back and goes up, because we are on this trend, we are on an uptrend, but on the day chart, we're on a downtrend. And then if I'm to zoom into the 15-minute candle, we are still in consolidation. So I would not necessarily enter a trade right now because the market is still undecided. Let me look at the favorite pairs, JBP, JPY, GBP, JPY. GBP, JPY. We are above the cloud, so we are on an uptrend. There was a flag formation here. Flag formation. I hope you can see the clear flag formation. And if you remember what I said about flag formations, they also give you they give you prediction of how price is going. So price impulsed up on GBP JPY.
And
GBP it impulsed up, and then it started consolidating within this channel, and then it's now broken this ceiling and it's on its way up, which for me just confirms the flag pattern idea. So we are still in the zone with GBP JPY. We are still on an uptrend, so I would just wait right now, yeah, before I make a decision to get in, because I still feel there's a bit of consolidation still happening. So chances are price will get up to here. It will either break and continue on the upside. So if it breaks, I would wait for the next candle to confirm the uptrend and then enter for a buy. If it comes here and bounces, then I know we are still on a downtrend. We've gone up and come back down. So it would still be, but this, because we're in a zone, we're in this pink zone, I would not necessarily enter for a very clear trade right now. And then we can see RSI is just close to getting to an overbought situation. Remember, above 70 is overbought. So I would just wait, because maybe, you know, price is still trying to do its thing. It's not yet decided on what's happening. So I think we are good for now. Today, right now, at this point in time, I don't see a clear trade opportunity that I can call. And if there are no other questions, I think, guys, we are good to go. So if you got value from this training, please type 11111, guys. Especially the new people, if you got some value from this training, please type 1111. Stella, thank you. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you, DM. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, HPPC. Thank you, guys. I hope to have this video available just so that you can review. But if it's not available, just in case I'm unable to download it like I was unable to do last time, please go to Schooled by Jasmine She's a master trader. She has a group called Schooled by Jasmine. She has 3 videos that are 1 hour each long, and you're able to learn how to plot the support and resistance. Okay? Thank you guys, and have a fantastic, fantastic day and trading week ahead. This week is going to be very exciting, by the way. In a couple of hours, we're going to start trading with, ignore my screen. My daughter is busy trying to draw things. But yeah, this week we're going to be learning from Randy Webb with the ECC 11 strategy. New people on the call, I suggest you get onto this training. I know Bernard has shared a couple of posters on the same. So please just get on the call so that we can just learn and begin to start making money together. Thank you guys, and have a lovely, lovely week ahead. Thank you.